Hey everybody, Angryponcho here, and we are back playing Red Remover. Like I say, this one, the par is 4 clicks, so you have to just like sort of take a hit on both sides and hope that they get bumped but don't tumble. As you can see there, it's pretty close, even when you do it right. That one can take a few tries. There's one good thing about post-commentation is that you can take a drink or do something else other than like, you can put the controller down essentially. You don't have to be holding the controller. This one's par 3, so we're going to be able to kick off both these red ones in one go, which it can occasionally become a problem, but this one it ended up just kind of teetering and flipping a little bit, but it ended up actually helping me out. Yeah! So that one came out in the good. I think that says par, did it say 8 or 5? I hope it didn't say 5. I think it's par 8, so that's 6 clicks there. 7, and then 8. See, yeah, I guess it must have been a par 8. Barely got it there. That one upper left green one almost got knocked out. So I got bumped around there. Par 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are required. 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you do it right, that green one should stay up there and not fall off that little pyramid it's on. Yeah! See? You basically remove every ball except for the ones that you want to keep. Well, that makes sense, right? Let's remove every ball except for the ones we want to keep. This one actually took about a minute and a half in real time for it to teeter and then roll off. No, actually, no, not that one. That one was not fast-forwarded. That was normal. There's one later on that takes forever that I fast-forwarded. So we click, click, click. Click, click, click. Again, just going to do this in 11 clicks. All I did was the last time through, for some reason, I removed that last blue piece down there, which is not necessary. So there we go. We got them all on par. Awesome. Still haven't unlocked them, though, because we have to beat them all on bonus mode. And, of course, once you turn it on, you're like, what's bonus mode? Oh. We can only see a tiny circle. And there I raged for a second and then got to work. So, now we're going through all the levels again. Essentially, we can get it as many clicks as we want, but we can only see like a tiny circle around of the screen around the mouse, which that's the only difficult part. Because, like I say, you can do it as many in as many clicks as you want. So you don't have to be efficient by. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh boy. Sorry about that. I know that's really loud in you guys' ears. And then the thing is, I always say, sorry about that, I'll try to edit that out. But then when I go back and I put the video together, it's like, dang it, where was that sneeze? And I'll have like a half hour of recording to like go through. And I mean, you'd be surprised, it's actually kind of hard to find a sneeze. Because the way that my mic works, it maxes out like the amount of sound that you can put in at a certain amount of time. And so you'd think that like a sneeze would be like a huge spike on like my volume. But it turns out with the way that the mic capping my sound works, it actually doesn't show up like any higher than my normal speech because it hits the top and stops, like a lot of my other speech does. Just because I tend to talk kind of loudly and clearly, which I guess is a good thing, right? I mean, you want to be able to understand what I'm saying. So yeah, that sneeze is probably still going to be in there. It makes it a little more genuine too. You guys get to hear me sneeze sometimes. Once you guys know that it's allergy season down here in the southeast United States, it's freaking awful. Seriously though, like, I am not going to be living here once I get out of college. No way. No freaking way. You could not pay me to stay in this state when I got out of college. It's just the allergies. The allergies alone would make it not worth it. That and the fact that, I mean, don't take offense if you live in the South, but like, a lot of people in the South are just dumb rednecks, and they're not particularly interesting to live near. Particularly not on holidays that involve them, like, shooting fireworks off, because, like, I've known people whose like yards have been caught on fire by their neighbors, like 4th of July celebrations, and it's just like, wow, you don't want to live next to those people. You don't want to be those people either. Jeez. But nothing against Southern folk. I do have to say that, oh my God, that is one thing that I do really like about the rural South is the Southern hospitality. I mean, you hear that all the time, and people kind of think it's just like, oh, it's just like a stereotype, but it's actually true. Like when you go into like an old-fashioned Southern household, like somebody who's like lived there for a couple generations, and they you know, they've been raised in the South, and they grew up here or whatever, they treat you really well. Like they treat guests better than family, which kind of it seems kind of weird at first, but believe me, it's awesome. I gotta say, Southern hospitality is awesome. Yeah, and then you like, oh, you'll have other times where like you'll go into like a restaurant or something, and your server is from the South, and they'll like sit down at like the corner of your table and like talk to you for a couple minutes, like if it's not busy. Like if the restaurant's busy, of course they're gonna be like focused on doing their job or whatever. But if you come in like a slow time, like between lunch and dinner, and your server like, doesn't smoke, so they don't take all their breaks out to go smoke. They might like sit down at your table and be like, oh, hey, what's going on with you guys, and they'll sit down and talk to you, and like most of the time they're pretty nice people and nice to talk to. Get to hear the southern accent too. Which I gotta say, the southern accent does not make you sound intelligent. I do have to append myself with that, because the southern accent is not a smart accent. Although I can't think of any one accent that actually makes you sound smart. In fact, I think that an entire lack of an accent actually makes you sound intelligent. Because there are some people who say that like the British accent makes you sound sort of like pompous and arrogant, or like a French accent makes you sound like really arrogant, or like you're trying to fake it or whatever. Or like a southern accent makes you sound dumb or whatever. But honestly, like the only way you can actually like sound smart is to not have an accent of any kind. Because otherwise people get distracted by it and they're not paying as much attention to what you're saying. Whereas, excuse me, if you had no accent, your words are being analyzed more critically because people are more able to understand you. Do you guys think that I have an accent of any kind? Like, I've lived in a, like I would say, I guess I could say I've lived in the Bible Belt my entire life. So I've lived in the southern United States. I've moved from Texas to where I live now. So, oh, the music started again. Nice. Must have changed recording sessions just then. But yeah, leave me a comment and let me know if you guys think that I have any particular accent. Like, do I show any characteristics of a southern accent at all? Like, I know occasionally I say y'all, but it's very rare. And like, I think I just said you all like a second ago when I asked you guys to leave comments. But I don't know. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think about my voice, whether I have any kind of accent or not. I don't know if people from Texas have an accent or not. I don't really think so. Like, I can't think of, like, Texan accent. I think the frame rate gets a little bit choppy here. Yeah, see, sorry about that. That's not your computer, that's me. Because I was recording while compiling Super Mario Sunshine. And compiling takes, like, 80% of my CPU. Not because it's like I have a pretty good computer. It just happens that the Sony Vegas likes to take a high percentage of the CPU in order to do its compiling, because it allows it to compile faster and et cetera, et cetera. It helps it get through it without any trouble. But the downside of that is that you can't really do anything else while you're compiling your video. And so I ended up trying to do some recording because I wanted to get this done because I was right in the middle of the game and I wanted to keep playing the game. And then I got that black guy to lose the game. He's sitting next to me. Nice. Anyway, I wanted to do some recording while I was compiling, and I didn't realize until afterwards. Actually, it started. I noticed a little bit of lag on where the circle was when I moved the mouse while I was playing. But it wasn't until afterwards that I realized that like the entire game had like this like quarter-second lag from like whenever I did something to whatever had happened on screen. So I have to apologize for that, but hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. I mean, honestly, you can't really tell that it's that laggy because, like, you can only see a little circle of the screen anyway. What was that? Oh my god! That was a failure I didn't edit out? Are you serious? Wow, I guess I'll have to leave it in now. I just commentated over it. Gosh. Oh well, it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm going to go back and get it out now. Although I would say, there you go. You guys got to see me fail once in this LP. So, there you go. Enjoy. Oh, another thing I'd like you guys to do. Down in the comments, after you tell me whether or not you think I have an accent, tell me what Flash game you want to see me play next. Because honestly, I know that there's a lot of really good Flash games out there that are sort of obscure, and that nobody really knows about until like they find out one day. Like one of their friends tells them about it or whatever. So like, I'd really like you guys to leave me a comment if you know of a particularly good Flash game that you think would be an interesting addition to this series, which I'm not going to call it an LP, I'm going to call it a series, because that's what it is. If you think of a game that would be an interesting addition to this series, leave it in the comments, because, I mean, not only would I, get to play a new game, possibly, but I'd also get to, have you guys be pleased with the LP. That was a nice move there. This was not edited. I got this on the first try. This level here, just, like, with lag and the darkness, I got that on the first try. I was pretty impressed with that. I also got the one through the gap on the first try, too, so I was like, wow. I was actually pretty surprised when it happened. I was just like, dang. Oh, dude, 2 failures I left in? Are you serious? You guys didn't need to see that. I don't know. When I was compiling this all together, I put the whole video together at like 3 times speed. So I probably just like zipped right past that without even realizing it. You can't tell it, but this is fast forwarded like 5 times. I thought the ball was moving, and so like I stopped and looked at it for a minute, and I noticed that it was like getting like pixel by pixel farther to the left. And so I sat there for like a full minute and a half, and it eventually rolled off the edge. So what you just saw was about a minute and a half of me staring at the screen. I could tell it was moving, but it was moving really slowly. It's sort of like when you look at like the hands, like the minute hand on a clock, and you can tell that it's going around like once per hour, but you can't really see it moving, but it just sort of looks like it's moving. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. We'll continue with Red Remover.